Our next guest now says she's still trying to figure out, everybody is, the significance of AMD's partnership with OpenAI and the implications on the overall artificial intelligence trade. So let's bring in Karen Finerman, co-founder and CEO of Metropolitan Capital Advisors, a CNBC contributor, and often a fast money mainstay. So it's great to have you in our HQ facility as opposed to me visiting you guys at the NASDAQ.
I'm glad to be in your home. Thank you for having me.
All right, so you heard the conversation with Aaron Levy, and this is not to say that you necessarily are a box investor or aren't a box investor, but the points he brings up are interesting in context around what's happening with AMD and OpenAI. As a tech investor with a slight value tilt, do you feel as though this kind of a deal is indicative of what we'll see going forward?
Well, I think we will see creative deals going forward. This was certainly a creative deal. I've spent some more time thinking about it. What it seems to me to be is essentially a discount on AMD for OpenAI if they meet certain milestones of purchases. So we much talk has been about this warrant, struck at a penny, but they actually can exercise it by just giving more warrants. So basically a cashless exercise where they can just basically get cash back. So that's sort of also a discount, right? A rebate for spending more. It is an enormous deal. One thing we look at again and again is, okay, how can they actually get to these milestones of building 6 gigawatts? It's this, one next year, I guess one every following year. So we see this again and again. And the frenzy, it does feel just very frenetic right now. It does feel like very much of a frenzy. I have no doubt about AI being enormous for our lives for a long time. What I am not so comfortable with anymore is the valuations and how to think about them. And this land grab, meaning somebody's going to be left without some land.
We know that many of our viewers and listeners know that you do have a value tilt. You don't go for anything at all costs. But some traders have explained to me, at least in their mind, that the kind of valuation construct that we have now cannot be accurately compared to what we've seen over the course of the past 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Do you buy into that argument, that these valuations, elevated as they are just the new normal?
I think for some of them, they are the new normal. So for me, as you say, I have a value take, but I also I've been in NVIDIA for a long time as it's gotten actually a little bit cheaper over the last, 18 months or so as the expectations of the earnings go higher. So, all kinds of comparisons to 1999 and 2000s, that was a whole other level of expensive. But I think also my sort of threshold for what is value has somewhat changed. And I think some things are expensive and they're worth it. So could be an NVIDIA, could be a Netflix, but I'm a little concerned now with the frothiness of the whole space and have started to take some off of the AI space.
So it hasn't just been AI and tech that's been kind of frothy. You can also argue that two other parts of the market, specifically when it comes to cryptocurrency and gold prices, which just topped $4,000 a troy ounce for the first time ever, are also in stages where they are elevated in terms of their relative valuation, historically speaking. When it comes to gold and Bitcoin, are there any concerns that you have about the price action of both of those? Are you buying into one or both? What do you think?
Well, I've been in Bitcoin since 2017. And what's happening now with, I think, gold and with Bitcoin is the idea of, deficits as far as the eye can see, printing money, the devaluation of the dollar. If you add in a little bit of concern about the independence of the Fed, you're sort of getting to a use case. I mean, you get to a case where I think of Bitcoin as digital gold. I prefer it over gold. And I know it's hard to, on a DCF model, how do you think about it? That sort of, doesn't compute. But I do think when you add in all of those same macro conditions that exist for both Bitcoin and gold, but when you add in an administration that is so decidedly pro-crypto, to me that makes crypto more interesting. And I don't have gold, and I do have crypto, and I've had it for a long time.
All right.